Fights to make after UFC 290. UFC 290 was a hell of a card, and now all the people that fought there need new matchups. So let's do this, guys. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Yo, assalamu alaikum.
So let's match up the main card. Let's start at the top. We have the winner of the main event, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. I think it's pretty clear that there's only two options for him. Either he moves up to lightweight or he fights Ilia Topuria. And the thing is, Volko needs surgery. So he'll be out for, I think, 6 to 8 weeks, his coach said. And then, of course, a new training camp, the cuts need to heal, blah, 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 this and that. He will not fight in October. He will not fight Islam in October. Forget that, for a lightweight title. And Islam will fight in October. I'm pretty sure about that. So I don't think Volko's next fight is for a lightweight title. Also because there's contenders in the featherweight division waiting, and you don't want to do an interim title every single time. And Topuria is the perfect opponent. They do not want to waste Topuria by matching him up against Holloway, and then he loses against Holloway, and then you have Holloway Volkanovski 4 that no one really wants to see, you know what I mean? So I really believe that the UFC's plan is to wait until Volko is healed up again and then match him up against Topuria, maybe in Spain, we'll see. It's a great matchup, someone fresh for Volk, very good. And if he beats him, he can say he cleared the division again, he can go up again and fight Islam. Yair Rodriguez, the loser of the main event on Saturday. I think this is really the perfect matchup, Yair Rodriguez versus Arnold Allen. Perfect matchup. I mean, Arnold Allen was a fighter, like a win away from a title shot if he beats Holloway there in this fight. He's fighting for a title, lost to Holloway, but he's still there. It was a close fight. He's still somewhere there. So I think Yair Allen, they haven't fought yet. Amazing fight. I don't want to see rematches all the time. They're right up there in the rankings. Both 1-2 fights away from their title shot. Book it, easy money. And then the new flyweight champion, Pantoja. There's a rematch there that I want to see, but not the rematch against Moreno, even though I'm afraid that they will book the fight again. Dana White said something like, who wouldn't want to see that again? I wouldn't want to see that again, not because the fight sucked or something, because the fight wasn't close or anything, but bro, he beat him 3 times now. Like, I mean, I love Moreno, but you can't let Moreno fight for a title every single time. I mean, every time Moreno loses the title fight, he fights again for the title. Like, we need fresh blood in the division. Let the division flow. Don't just rematch it all the time. I mean, I don't know. Now, okay, let's say Shevchenko wins against Krasto, Shevchenko's a champion again. Then Shevchenko loses again against someone, she gets a rematch again. Like, stop that. Always these rematches, stop that. They have to earn their spot again. I mean, if you would have had 5 title defenses, okay, but Pantoja beat Moreno. It was a very close fight, but he beat him. Let Pantoja fight someone else. Let someone else get the chance to be a champ. So I believe the rematch between Pantoja and Brandon Royval is inevitable. Royval is a hell of a fighter. Only guy he ever lost to was Pantoja, and he wants to one back. He weighed in as a backup fighter as well this Saturday, so he's nearly guaranteed a title shot in the future. That's a perfect matchup for me. I would love to see that. Book it. And then for Moreno, I think the best fight is Amir Albazi, because Amir is ranked number 3, if I'm right. So the only guy that Moreno hasn't fought yet in the top 5, other than Brandon Royval. But Brandon Royval will fight for the title in my matchup. So Moreno against Albazi, winner of that gets the title shot. So Royval, Pantoja, winner is a champ, loser is not the champ, obviously. And then the winner of Moreno Albazi fights for the title again. Perfect. I mean, that's honestly, UFC, hire me, goddammit. Then we have DDP and Robert Whittaker, Dricus du Plessis. So Dricus du Plessis won the fight. In my opinion, clear title shot now. I mean, if you beat Robert Whittaker, you fight for the title. Even though I would love to see Sean Strickland fight Izzy. I mean, I would not say no if they say, hey, let's make Sean Strickland against Izzy for the title in Australia, and then the winner of that can still fight Dricus du Plessis beginning of 2024 or end of 2023. because I don't think Du Plessis will be ready for Australia. I think Sean will be ready for Australia, so I would like that. I would actually like that, and I don't think it would be unfair to DDP because as long as he's guaranteed a title shot. But probably will be DDP against Izzy, someone, maybe Madison Square Garden or John Jones card. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Whittaker is a very tough one. Whittaker, in my opinion, is a very tough guy to match up right now because he beat nearly everybody in the top 10. He beat nearly everybody, and you don't want to. I mean, right behind him in the rankings is Cannonier, who will probably fight Hamzat, by the way, just that you know. I don't think you want to see Cannonier Whittaker again. I mean, I would watch it, but it's hard to sell that fight again when Whittaker just demolished him in the last fight. Demolished is a hard word, but it's tough to match up with Whittaker. So in my opinion, it depends on how long he wants to stay inactive. Because I think he wants to heal up. And if he wants to heal up, I have a possibility for him. My plan is like this. If Whittaker wants a quick turnaround, book him against Strickland. If Strickland doesn't get a title shot. Otherwise, it gets complicated now, guys. Otherwise, Strickland fights the winner of Paulo Costa and Aliyev, or whatever the fuck his name is, this new guy, Pakistani guy. Strickland fights the winner of that. Let's say Paulo Costa wins that fight, so Strickland fights Paulo Costa end of the year. Winner of that fight, Strickland against Costa, fights for the title, inevitable. Loser of that fight fights from Whittaker. Even though it sounds kind of hard for Whittaker, but he needs to fight someone new. And these are all guys he hasn't faced yet. Strickland, Aliyev, or whatever the fuck his name is, and Costa. He hasn't fought any one of them, so why not? It makes a lot of sense to me if he wants to stay a little bit away, which I would assume. He got TKO'd. I mean, you know what I mean? You want to take some time off after that. But we'll see. Jalin Turner and Dan Hooker. Let's start with the loser this time. Jalin Turner. I think there's a very fun matchup out there, and that is Jalin Turner against Renato Moicano wants money. Porra!
Moicano wants money!
Moicano is injured, had surgery 2 months ago or something. So I think he would be ready to fight again. Hopefully, Moicano, November, something like that, like end of the year. I think that also makes sense for Turner because he took some damage in that fight. He shouldn't have a quick turnaround. Moicano's right behind Turner in the ranking, so it makes a lot of sense. Stylistically, very fun fight, both good grapplers. Otherwise, if Moicano can't make it, let's make Turner versus Ismagulov, who lost 1 week prior to Grant Dawson. So Turner versus Moicano, if that is not possible, then versus Ismagulov. And then Dan Hooker. I have a banger of a fight here. It is Dan Hooker versus Rafael Ataman Fiziev. I mean, yeah, it's a step up for Hooker in terms of the rankings, but it makes sense. I mean, Fiziev had his chance to enter the top 5, lost against Gaethje. So now, in my opinion, he has to fight backwards. Matt backwards, and Hooker just beat the guy in front of him and Turner, so he probably will be ranked number 10 now or something. Fiziev is number 6. That's 4 spots, that's totally fine. And I saw some people suggesting Hooker should fight Gamrot, which makes a lot of sense because Gamrot also beat Turner, blah, 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 this and that. Makes a lot of sense. But you can't tell me that Hooker against Fiziev wouldn't be a hell of a fun fight. That would be a stand-up war, something that we all love, and Gamrot would just hold on to the single leg for dear life against Hooker. So I think Hooker against Fiziev, a fight that both guys would love. Both guys love fights like that. And even though I favor Fiziev heavily in that fight, that would be so fun to watch. Book it. And then for the last matchups of today, the opener of the main card on Saturday, Bo Nickal versus Val Woodburn. I mean, Val Woodburn stepped down on short notice, as you all know. And Bo Nickal won in 39 seconds or something. So Bo Nickal probably wants a quick turnaround. I don't think he wins in 39 seconds and says, hey, let my next fight be in 2024. You know what I mean? Dana White said that he will not fight a ranked opponent next because some reporters asked that. And I understand that because they want to build him up. They don't want to risk anything with him. They don't want to Darren Till him, you know what I mean? So they will book him against a non-ranked opponent. And I really thought about this for some time because there are so many fun matchups that are not possible if you talk about a rather quick turnaround. Most guys that I would like to see him against are already matched up for like August. For example, Andre Petrovsky, a very fun fight, even though it's a big step up, is already booked against Jared Mearshart. Also, Jared Mearshart is a guy that I would love to see against Bo Nickal. So it's a tough one, but I found the perfect matchup, guys. And the perfect matchup is Edmen Shahbazyan. Edmen is a guy that was the star, the future star when he came to the UFC.
Is the future?
Yes.
When he came to the UFC, even the contender fight, he won every single fight of his career by first round knockout. So kind of Bo Nickal style, crazy finisher. Came to the UFC, won his first 2 fights, decision and KO. And then they rushed him. That's what they don't want to do with Bo Nickal. That's why. They rushed him, let him fight Bronson, lost. 3rd round TKO, and since then he has never been the same. Even though he had his second last fight, he had a KO win again, but his last fight again he lost by TKO against Fluffy Hernandez, which is a very good fighter. Fluffy Hernandez is one of the best grapplers in the world in his division. And Edmen didn't look bad in that fight. It's not like I've tried to match him up against a can. Edmen Shahbazyan is as good as it gets. He just fell off a lot. But he's still very good. He still was dangerous against Fluffy. And I think would be a great step up for Bo Nickal. A guy that has much more experience, a guy that is very dangerous everywhere, that knows how to grapple, that hits very heavy. Because we need to see Bo taking some risks. We as fans, the UFC knows that. You can't just match him up against another Jamie Pickett type of guy who's like, I don't know, 10-7. That doesn't make sense. No one wants to see that. Even though Val Woodburn was on the field, obviously, but on fucking 4 days notice or 3 days notice or whatever. We need to see him against bigger competition, but I still believe he beats or can beat Shahbazyan. I think it's a great matchup. They should book that. Then the last guy is Val Woodburn. Dana White confirmed he gets another fight after his short notice step up, which is only fair if you step up on like 3 days notice to fight in the UFC. He was scheduled to fight in a Contender Series, but he now got the immediate UFC shot. I mean, if you sacrifice yourself to get knocked up by Bo Nickal, you deserve another fight, in my opinion. And I actually have the perfect fight for him, because Bo Nickal was scheduled to face Tresean Gore before Tresean Gore to pull out. Let's just make a very simple and very smart fight: Val Woodburn versus Tresean Gore. Easy money. I mean, Tresean Gore is also not the most experienced guy, 5-2 I think. Val Woodburn is now 7-1. Perfect fight. It will be very fun. I'll watch that. They both have a little bit of a name right now because of Bo Nickal. Make that fight. Perfect. So these are the matchups that I would like to see after UFC 290. What is your opinion on that? Write every opinion you have on every matchup in the comments, guys. I would appreciate that. I would also appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe to this channel, guys. And your body would appreciate if you would eat your vegetables and eat your fruits, guys. I'll see you soon. Stay healthy. Until the next one. Bye. Bloodsport out.